Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another reading of the Bible. We are in 1 Kings chapter 10. 1 Kings 10. Here we go. We get introduced to the Queen of Sheba here. Queen of Sheba, chapter 10. When the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions. She came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices and very much gold, a lot of gold and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. Solomon told her all her questions, or answered all her questions. There was not anything hid from the king which he told her not. When the queen of Sheba had seen all Solomon's wisdom in the house that he had built, the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, the attendance of his ministers, their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent by which he went up unto the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. She said to the king, It was a true report that I heard in mine own land of thy acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit I believed not the words until I came, and mine eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceedeth the fame which I heard. Happy are thy men, happy are thy servants, which stand continually before thee, and who hear my wisdom. Blessed be the Lord thy God, who delighteth in thee, to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore made he thee king to do judgment and justice. The Queen of Sheba gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices very great store, and precious stones. There came no more such abundance of spices as these which the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. The navy also of Hiram, who brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir great plenty of almug trees, interesting, and precious stones. The king made all the almug trees pillars for the house of the Lord, and for the king's house, house of the Lord, the temple, and the king's house. That's the Solomon's house. Harps also and psalteries for singers. There came no such almug trees, nor were seen unto this day. King Solomon gave unto the Queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, besides that which Solomon gave her of royal bounty. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 603 score. That's 386 talents of gold. Excuse me. 3 times 20 is 60. So 666. Ooh, is that 666? 600, 3 score. Ooh, yes, it is. It's 666. That's bad. That's a bad number. 603 score and 6 talents of gold. Besides that, he had of the merchants' men, and of the traffic of the spice merchants, and of all the kings of Arabia, and of the governors of the country. King Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold. 600 shekels of gold went to one target. He made 300 shields of beaten gold. 3 pounds of gold went to one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory, and overlaid it with the best gold. The throne had 6 steps, and the top of the throne was round behind, and there were stays on either side of the place of the seat, and 2 lions stood beside the stays. The 12 lions stood there on the one side, and on the other upon the 6 steps, and there was not the like made in any kingdom. All King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was nothing accounted of in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish, that I think the first H is silent, Tarshish with the navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. Apes. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom. All the earth sought to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. They brought every man his present, vessels of silver, vessels of gold, garments. I'll turn the page. Oh, God. Garments and armor, spices, horses, mules, a rate year by year. Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen, and he had 1,400 chariots, 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the cities for chariots, and with the king of Jerusalem. The king made silver to be in Jerusalem as stones, and cedars made he to be as the sycamore trees that are in the valley for abundance. Solomon had horses brought out of Egypt and linen yarn. The king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price. A chariot came up and went out of Egypt for 600 shekels of silver, and a horse for 150 shekels of silver. And so for the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Syria did they bring them out by their means. So that's chapter 10 of 1 Kings. Chapter 10 is 1 Kings. Hope you enjoyed it.